Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all healthy and safe. So this is my full review of the Huawei MateBook X Pro 2020. Now, Huawei has mostly kept the design unchanged over the three last versions of the MateBook X Pro line. Basically, this is now a 3-year-old laptop design, so it no longer has that immediate wow factor for someone who have seen a Huawei laptop before. But that doesn't mean the laptop hasn't improved. It obviously got the usual processor upgrade to a 10th gen Intel i7 or an i5 with more RAM and more base storage too. So it's a spec bump in the laptop sense. And in the past year, Huawei has spent a lot of resources building up its whole ecosystem. And that has now created a better user experience if you use a Huawei phone. And that's something that Apple has done so well in building for the past couple of years, and Huawei is trying to do that now. So one of the first things I want to show the laptop, this is not a new feature, this has actually been a selling point of Huawei laptops since the first model, is this power button here that doubles as a fingerprint scanner. It's a one-touch power button. You just have to press on it once and it will have already scanned my digit, and it's gonna boot up from a cold boot to ready to go in, just right now it's ready to go. So in what, like 20 seconds from complete shut off to ready to go in the desktop in 20 seconds with just one press. That's something that a lot of laptops haven't figured out yet. With a MateBook Pro, for example, which has a fingerprint scanner in the power button, you also have to press the button twice. You have to hit it once to boot up the machine, and once it's booted up, at the login screen, you then have to press your finger again just to get in. Now look at the screen. This is a 13.9 inch LCD panel with 3K resolution. Max brightness gets pretty high, well, more than bright enough for outdoor use. When I'm indoors, I find that I'm completely okay using it at 40% and I can still see the screen very clearly. This is also a touch screen, which is something that a lot of laptops don't give you, especially Apple's laptop. It's a 10-point touch system, which means you can move it around, and you can also use 2 fingers to pinch. You can also use 3 fingers to trigger specific Huawei actions, such as drawing a screenshot by dragging 3 fingers across specific portions of the screen. So just like that, and you notice that it will also recognize the text from the screenshot and copy it into a Word document. So this is a Huawei additional feature onto the software, which is mostly a clean version of Windows 10 Home, except for these additional Huawei features. But that's not the main one I want to talk about. The main one I really want to talk about is Huawei One Hop. If you have a recent Huawei phone like I have here, the Huawei P40 Pro, you just have to tap into the lower right corner base of the laptop, and then you see it will ask you if you want to allow connection. Once you connect, you will run basically a mirror version of your phone desktop. This is so awesome. Now this is useful because now I can access stuff on my phone directly on my laptop because the 2 machines are synced. So for example, last week I was at a coffee shop writing an article, when my girlfriend kept messaging me, and usually if I was on another machine, I would have to kind of stop what I'm doing on a laptop just to grab my phone, just to then respond to her by typing on the phone screen. Now I don't have to like do this action. I can now respond to her on here, and I can type directly on the laptop keyboard, which allows me a much faster typing experience. I can pound out messages and responses to her a lot better than doing so on the phone. And just the fact that I don't have to leave the laptop screen, you know, saves me a little bit of time and keeps me more concentrated, because I can still have my Word document open right here, for example, and just have the WhatsApp window on the side, so I can still see what she's writing to me. At the same time, I can continue to write right here, or read articles, or watch YouTube videos of whatever the heck I'm doing. Another fun thing I use this feature for is to go on Instagram, because I'm kind of addicted to Instagram. I really like watching Instagram stories with my friends and just look at pictures of people, you know, cute girls. But there is no proper Instagram app on Windows or Mac OS. So I would have to log on to Instagram via the web browser, and the experience is just not as good as the mobile app. So now, because the machines are synced, I can go on to Instagram directly on my phone. And see, I can swipe through Instagram with my finger directly on the screen, or just use the trackpad. And it's just a really unique experience to be able to watch Instagram stories on my laptop screen. That's not all with Huawei OneHop. It also allows almost instantaneous file transfer. So for example, let's say I take a photo right now and then I tap on the phone. This photo will then move over to the laptop screen, and then from here I can edit it if I want. I can pinch to zoom, any of that. So this kind of seamless connection between a Huawei P40 Pro and a Huawei MateBook X Pro is exactly what Huawei is trying to build with its ecosystem. In the future, Huawei also releases a lot of other products like a tablet, smartwatches, earbuds. In the future, all of these things will be connected. You can maybe check your heart rate right here, but have the result show up on your laptop screen instead of on your watch. You can maybe control noise cancellation on your Huawei earbuds completely on your laptop or on your phone. So it's a synergy between hardware and software and different products that Apple's very good at. But for the most part, other brands in the Android space or Windows space have not gotten good at. Like if you use a Dell laptop, there isn't a Dell smartphone or Dell earbuds for you to use all at the same time. Now, as for standard laptop performance, everything works just as advertised. The 10th gen Intel Core i7 processor is pretty powerful, and the graphics card is an NVIDIA GeForce MX 250. Now, that is not like the most powerful graphics card, so I would not use that to play heavy games on this, but it's capable. So you can still play games on this, but you just have to run it at a medium graphics setting. But this is not really a gaming machine, this is a productivity machine. This keyboard is excellent, it is backlit, and it has really good key travels. I mean, I'm a really fast touch typer. I average like 100 words a minute, but I have no problems, no complaints at all with this keyboard. The trackpad, however, it's not the best trackpad I've used. It's not bad, it's large enough, and you have pretty good friction against your finger when you scroll on it, and also it supports multi-touch gestures such as 2 fingers to swipe up and down, 3 fingers to hide your windows, 3 fingers swipe left and right to switch between your apps. So for the most part it's fine, but I just find that the tap to click feature is a little bit too sensitive. So a lot of times I'm just trying to scroll and I'll accidentally trigger a tap. I just did it right now. Like I'm just trying to scroll, move the mouse cursor, and I'll accidentally trigger a tap when I'm not trying to. And I've jumped into settings to see if I can fix it, like lower sensitivity, and I just was not able to do it. For the most part, I also use a MacBook. The trackpad on the MacBook Pro is a lot better than the trackpad here. This is a laptop that if I'm really doing heavy work, I want to bring a mouse. I don't want to just completely rely on this trackpad. Now, another thing of note that you probably already know by now is the webcam location of this laptop. The webcam is actually located on the top of the keyboard at the F key. So it pops up just like that. If you are someone who do a lot of Zoom video calls or just Skype calls in general, you may not want to get this laptop just because the position is a little bit weird. It shoots up at this unflattering angle below your chin. So if you're fat, you have double chin, it's gonna look really bad like that. And overall, the webcam resolution is not that high. But for me, I don't do a lot of video calls, so I have no issues. I will gladly take this position so I can have a smaller bezel on the top, because if you need to put your webcam up there, that's why the bezels have to be a little bit thicker. I'm superficial, man. I just want to look at a beautiful screen. I don't care about the webcam location that much, but that's just me. To a lot of people, this webcam location may be a deal breaker. Now, obviously, with a 3K almost bezels panel, this is an excellent movie machine, media consumption device, and the speakers on this thing are pretty good too, although they're not as good as the MacBook Pro's speakers. You have 2 speaker grills on the right and left side of the keyboard, and they pump out pretty good stereo sound. Now, overall build quality of the laptop is excellent. The hinge is pretty sturdy and it opens up. This is about as wide as it opens, so it's not the widest angle, but it's good enough for me. Now, the whole laptop, it's pretty light. It measures 2.93 pounds, so it's just a little bit under 3 pounds. And it measures 14.6 millimeter at its thickest point. So overall, this is a pretty portable, pretty thin machine, noticeably lighter than a MacBook Pro and a little bit thinner than a MateBook Pro 2. You also have a good selection of ports, including 2 USB-C Thunderbolt ports here and a headphone jack. So both of these will be able to charge the laptop or transfer data or output to an external monitor. On the right side, you have a USB-A 3.0. This is a port that more and more laptops are ditching, so it's really good that you get that right here because a lot of accessories still use this USB-A 3.0. Now, for battery life, there's a 56 watt-hour battery in this machine, and it's just enough to get me by an 8-hour workday. Now, granted, it's not heavy video work. It's not watching movies and streaming Spotify, that type of work. I'm just talking about going on the internet, reading articles, sending emails, writing Word documents. That will last you 8 hours. If you do use that heavier usage, such as if you want to edit videos on this, then I would say battery drops down to 5 or 6 hours. But the good news is you can charge this with just USB-C. Now finally, we have to talk about the price. So when Huawei first introduced this laptop in 2017 and even up to 2018, this was one of the cheaper laptops out there. Like, you can get the base model, which ran on an Intel Core i5 with 256 gigs of internal storage and 8 gigs of RAM for about $1,100 at the time. This is the 2018 price. And at the time, that was a very good price because Apple, Dell, and Microsoft would sell similar spec laptops at $400 to $600 more than what Huawei was charging. But for some reason, the 2020 model has gotten a price bump. Now, this model that I'm testing, the i7 model with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of internal storage, starts at almost $2,000. The base model with i5, still 16 gigs of RAM, still 512 gigs of internal storage, that one starts at $1,700 US. So that's quite a big jump from 3 years ago, 2 years ago when the base model started at $1,200. Now the base model starts at $1,700. But I believe that has to do with the component cost, and also you are getting double the storage and double the RAM in the base model. So now at this price, this is no longer the best value on the market. It's not even one of the better values on the market. It's about on par now with what everybody else is charging. So it is not as easy to recommend getting the Huawei MateBook X Pro over, say, a Dell XPS, because the prices are now very similar now. And the Dell XPS gives you a 4K screen that's also touch panel, and performance is going to be similar. So instead, I would recommend this laptop for people who are already using a Huawei smartphone, because like I already said, the connectivity between the two devices make the whole experience a lot better to use than using a MacBook and a Samsung phone. The biggest appeal now are for people who want a thin and sleek and relatively powerful productivity laptop, and for people who are immersed in Huawei's ecosystem. So that's about it for this review of the Huawei MateBook X Pro 2020. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel or follow me on Instagram at Ben's Gadget Reviews. As usual, I have a lot more content coming up, including on the Oppo Reno 4 Pro. That's the global version, different from the China version, and something from Xiaomi and OnePlus too. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff coming. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe.